So now we're going to talk about functions. We use functions a lot in math, so it comes up, but it has a specific definition. And the one in the book I thought was pretty good. A function is a relation that assigns to each element in its domain exactly one element in the range. And it can be very confusing, but here's an example. Birthdays. Each person, each individual person, it maps to a specific birthday. You can't be born on 2 different days, I don't think. So you only get one birthday. That is an example of a function. Now, if you were to go to the other way and say, well, how many people are born on August 13th? Well, there's probably a lot of people born on August 13th. So that if you were mapping the other way, that wouldn't be a function. Okay, but let me give you an example that you can see. So let's say you have a domain here, and you have 1 and 2 and 3, and then you have a range over here, and then you have 4 and 5. This is the example I had before. And say 1 maps to 4 and 1 maps to 5. I think we had 2 maps to 5 and 3 maps to 5. That is not a function. So if somebody gave you that as a relation and said, hey, is this a function? You'd say, no, this is not a function. And the reason it's not a function is because of the 1 right there. See, you've got the 1 mapping to 4, but you've also got the 1 mapping to 5. And that's what you can't have. So that's the only thing that keeps it from being a function here, is that you've got the 1 going 2 different places. And in a function, each domain element can only go to 1 place. So let me change it a little bit. So I could have a domain here, a range here. Maybe I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so I'll say 1 goes to 4, and then let's have 2 go to 5 and 3 go to 5. That's okay. This is a function. Because each domain element only has 1 line coming out of it. And so that makes it a function. Now you might say, well, what about the range? What about that 5? You've got 2, 5, and 3, 5. That's okay. The range can have more than 1 element go to it, but the domain can only go to map to 1 spot. Okay? All right. So that's an explanation with the mappings a little bit. So here comes an example. Use a set of ordered pairs to, and they want us to do 3 things. Determine whether the function is the relation is a function. Find the domain of the relation. Find the range of the relation. By the way, all functions are relations. Okay. All right. So we'll start with A here. So is it a function? Now, one way you could do this is you could make the mapping and see, but I'm not going to take the time to do that. I'm going to look at my first components. I got a -3, a -2, a -1, a 0, a 1, a 2, 3. None of them repeated. So each domain is it's only in there once, and so it doesn't repeat. So this is a function. So yes, function, a function. 2. Find the domain. Domain, well, it's all those things I just said. -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. This is a set of ordered pairs. I believe there are 7 of them. And you notice you have 7 domain elements. And part 3. Find the range. So now we're going to list the second component. So we've got -6, -4, -2, 0, 2, 4, and 6. And that would be the range. The notation is really important when you're doing domain and range. With these finite sets, that's what we've done. But as we change and do other things, we want to be careful with the notation. So make sure you're putting the squiggly brackets and the parentheses and the commas the way they're supposed to be. Okay, part B. So is it a function? Well, we've got an 8, a 4, a 2, a 0, a 2. Uh-oh. Okay, so you've got the 2 mapping. See, you've got 2 going 2 places. It's going to -1, and then it's going to 1. And so it's not a function. It just takes one time to mess it up, so not a function. Still a relation, but it's not a function. And so part 2, they want us to list the domain. So we have 8, 4, 2, 0. Now I won't put 2 again because it's already in there, and I won't put 4 and 8 again, so I guess I'm done right there. Okay? So those, you only put them in there once, even though there are 2 ordered pairs. Okay, and now we'll do the range. And what do we have? -4, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 4. So that would be the range.